I mean,
Hi, I'm Jack,
and I'm Matt.
and this is Little Bits, the podcast where we talk about TV, movies, and other stuff we think is neat.
Today we're talking about Joker starring Joaquin Phoenix and Minecraft starring Steve.
Alright, so Joker came out about a month ago, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, so it came out to mostly very positive reviews, with some very negative.
It was either very positive reviews or very negative reviews. There were no reviews in the middle. People either loved it or hated it.
Alright, so I saw it, and I loved it.
I loved it.
Okay, so starting off with the best stuff, that being the acting by Joaquin Phoenix as Joker.
He's definitely the second best Joker, but honestly, that is a serious compliment because no one's better than Heath Ledger's role of Joker.
Well, you have to remember Jack Nicholson.
Oh, Jack Nicholson is the Joker.
But
Oh my
it
God.
wasn't, and Mark Hamill.
Okay.
If you're taking all the Joker roles into account.
Okay, yeah. But can we really count Mark Hamill since he's just voice acting? Voice acting
yeah.
and on-camera acting are two very different worlds.
Okay, fine. So we're not counting Mark Hamill.
I'm not counting Mark Hamill.
Okay, but Jack Nicholson was at least really iconic. It
He was
wasn't
iconic. I don't know if I would put him.
It did what it needed to do. He wasn't trying to make it super dark, but
Okay, yeah. Yeah, for that
for what they needed.
for that Batman, he was a good Joker.
Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, Joaquin Phoenix is definitely up there.
Yes, very, very talented actor, and he definitely displayed it in this role.
Mm-hmm. So, starting with just physical stuff, at the beginning of the movie, he looks starving.
Oh my gosh, just the way he moves throughout the body, and the way they portray his body in the movie just purposely makes you uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It's
every angle they show him at just makes him look weak and uncomfortable
and tired.
Yeah,
It's
his whole face just seems I don't know,
worn out.
Yeah. So besides that, he really does seem crazy.
He does
as the
seem
role.
crazy.
I've never seen a Batman movie do the whole thing where Joker has a mental condition that makes him laugh.
Yeah.
And I thought that was an interesting way to go.
No.
And I don't know,
I think it was a good way to go, though.
it was a good way to go.
For this, at least. If it was just because this movie didn't have Batman in it and it was just Joker focused, that's what made that good.
Mm-hmm. It's a good origin to why why his viewpoint is the way it is.
Yeah.
That chaos is funny.
And that he isn't the bad guy. He's the victim.
Alright, so Joker's the victim in this, as you just said.
Yeah.
And through the movie, you just see him get absolutely destroyed by
Yes.
every aspect of his life, from his work, his family, his not having any friends.
Yeah. Even the public itself.
Yeah.
He gets beat up multiple times.
For no reason.
For no reason at all.
Which brings me to a good point. The portrayal of Gotham in this in this Batman, I don't want to call it a Batman movie, but movie set in the Batman universe, is really good too. In all the Batman movies, the Dark Knight franchise, Gotham is always seen as this really futuristic town, but since this is set before that, it's gross.
It's gross, nasty. Pretty much everyone's in poverty. It's not what you would see in a typical DC movie.
And the Gotham itself is almost a character in the movie. It is the thing that drives almost all of the plot. like from him getting beaten by like random people of Gotham to like protesters to like the people on the subway. It's just like a constant force in the movie.
Yeah.
And I also think the cinematography in the movie like does a really great job of like showing Gotham and like I remember like multiple shots of like streets and just like sweeping views that are just really show how like and then comparing them to those same shots in like The Dark Knight, how like much it's changed.
Yeah, and there were a couple of aerial views of Gotham and the Joker where you can physically see how beat up all the streets are. You can see trash everywhere. Whenever there are aerial views in like the most recent Batman trilogy, I mean, you don't see any of that.
Like it looks futuristic.
Yeah.
At the very end of the movie, like as everything's going down, as everything's like going insane, they have a final like connection to Batman at the end where you see Bruce Wayne's parents die. What did you think of that?
I think it was interesting.
It seems like something they just like tacked on.
Yeah, I still don't think I still don't know if I think it was a good addition to the movie because throughout the movie there's no connection to Batman besides just a little bit of mentioning of the Waynes just but
nothing like Batman. It's just Bruce Wayne, Thomas Wayne.
It's not even Bruce Wayne because
I mean he meets Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
But it's nothing like ever Batman.
It's nothing Batman, and that's what I've really liked about it. How different it is from every other DC movie. Because Batman's always there. That's their main character. But in this, they made Joker the main character, and that's what made this movie good and different.
So, yeah, it does seem like something they just tacked on at the last second so that, you know, if they ever want to make sequels or ever want to connect it to the larger DC universe, they could if they wanted to. Even though, like, Joaquin Phoenix has said, no, I don't want to. And the director has said no.
Yeah,
it seems like something that DC wanted to throw in just to be like, hey, maybe.
Yeah, that's just a total money-grabbing thing right there. Like, a movie like that, it's not supposed to have a sequel. It's supposed to be a standalone movie that you watch it and it impacts you. It shows you how different things are from other people's perspective.
And now just recently they announced that they are working on a sequel for it, and I don't think that's going to turn out well.
Yeah.
As good as this one was, I don't know where they could go with it now.
Yeah. Movies like this need to be standalone.
But back to the good, the soundtrack of the movie I thought was amazing.
Fantastic.
It was like one of the most like not underrated but like less talked about like fantastic parts of the movie. It seems like the entire movie it builds up to like finally the end when it like just like climaxes and just like releases all of the tension.
And it was a kind of a long movie. It was 2 hours and 2 minutes, and considering the climax was in the last 30 minutes of the movie, that's a lot of build-up. But the soundtrack that's in there keeps you engaged in the movie. It captivates you. It's just, I don't know how else to explain it. It was just so perfectly placed in.
And it's like, it's deceptively simple. Like most of it is nothing but like drums and cello. And the way the cello is played just like creates so much tension. It's just amazing. Until like finally, like at the end, like the entire like orchestra comes in and then it ends on the cello solo.
Oh my gosh.
So moving on to the again the plot of the movie, I want to talk about the ending when it turns out that Arthur has imagined a lot of what's been going on.
Not necessarily. The reason why this movie is so genius is that it never tells you that he imagined it. it ends with him in the insane asylum, and he's talking to.
Well, I mean, we know he imagined the girlfriend.
That's the only thing we know for a fact that he imagined. No one's sure whether or not he imagined all the protests, him going on the TV show with Murray. I mean, it's just.
I've seen lots of things online arguing both sides or pretty much every angle. Like, it could have been all imaginary. Like, it could have been none imaginary, and like everything that we saw happened. And what it most likely is, and what we're most likely supposed to believe, is that it's somewhere in the middle. But what I've found most interesting too is like the things people have like spotted throughout the movie. Stuff like some people have said like at the beginning of the movie when he gets accused of stealing that sign, when really he got beaten up and it was destroyed. Later, apparently, you can see like the corner of the sign sticking out from behind his couch. So it's like maybe he did steal it.
Oh my
and he's just like imagining getting beaten up and destroying the sign.
Yeah. I mean, if he had actually gotten beaten up, couldn't he have just like showed his bruises? Because we see his bruises when he's alone, right? But when he's with other people, we don't see them.
Yeah.
I don't think.
It leaves a lot open to like whatever you want to believe.
And I love movies like that. I love movies where you can pick and choose what you think happened, and how you can have arguments with other people about what you think happened, and nobody's necessarily right or wrong.
All right, so the last thing I want to talk about before we move on is the media reaction to this movie. Now, we mentioned earlier that it got mostly fantastic reviews. In fact, like almost every actual movie critic gave it a great review. Now, where things went down were people that were less concerned about the quality of the movie and more concerned about the politics of it.
Yes, okay. A lot of mainstream media were talking about how dangerous this movie could potentially be. They thought it would inspire mass shootings, stuff like that. So people would be afraid to go see it because they've heard on the news about possible shootings at the movie theaters. But honestly, as we saw, there were no mass shootings in relation to this movie, and the media made it more likely because they kept that spotlight on it.
It's bringing it back to like the whole does violent media inspire violence? And it's the same thing as like people saying that violent video games cause violence in children, when it's been proven many times that that's not the case.
And in some cases, it lessens violent tendencies because it allows an outlet, a release for like built-up tension. But off that topic. Okay, another thing, as I was doing my own research on this movie, I stumbled across a 1-star review from an Anne Hornaday. Her movie review was posted on the Washington Post. I don't know, did I say that she gave it 1 star? I think
yes.
Okay, yeah. I do not believe that she actually watched this movie. She called Arthur, who is the Joker in the movie, a pathetic man-child who still lives with his mother. But in the movie, it's clearly seen that he lives with his mother to take care of her because she is old and sick and cannot support herself. And all he does throughout the movie is take care of her until he kills her, but, and it's just... the way she described the movie was like she didn't actually watch it, and it made me so angry that she gave it 1 star, because...
You're making me angry, Phil.
just giving something a bad review because you don't agree with it. You don't agree. It's
childish.
Yeah, it is childish. You don't agree with the message that it's portraying. I mean, it's just bad.
Mm-hmm. It's like, regardless of whether you agree with the message they're trying to send, you should still be able to see the quality of this movie.
Yeah, you should be able to appreciate how well done it is.
All right, so I think that's enough for Joker. We've spent our time on that. Moving on to just the quick middle segment of the podcast. We can talk about some news in the media recently. Probably the biggest thing is Disney Plus just got released. I don't have it, but Matt, you do.
I have it because Verizon. If your carrier is Verizon, you get Disney Plus for free for a year, which is really
Verizon
nice.
gang.
Verizon gang. But honestly, even without it, it's only what $7 a month. I mean, that's a good deal. That is a very good deal considering the quantity of stuff that you're getting. I mean, everything that Disney has created, considering Disney owns like half of all movies that come out now. I mean, you're getting so much stuff for free, or you're getting what you're paying for.
I know one of my friends got like multiple people together, like 4 people together, and they're splitting the $7 even. And since it's 4 screens at a time, they can like, they're all just getting it for like less than $2 a month.
$2, that's amazing. I mean, I've spent some time just going through everything that they have, and they have so many TV shows just from my childhood, so much nostalgia coming back, so many good movies. That it's all very well done. There's very little problems with it considering how new it is. I mean, good deal.
Now, we're not sponsored by Disney, but Disney, if you wanted to hop on the Little Bits train, we would be happy to accept. Okay, next in the news, Death Stranding just came out to, again, mixed reviews. Have you seen it? Have you talked to anyone who's played Death Stranding?
I have talked to a few people that have played Death Stranding. To people that enjoy video games more for the story, I mean, the gameplay is fun that I've heard, but to some people it is a little slow paced. So I don't know if I would necessarily enjoy it, but for the crowd of people who love the story in video games and are patient people, they love the game, and I respect that.
I'm hoping to play it. Right now it's a PS4 exclusive with plans to release on, I believe, for sure on PC, maybe Xbox One.
They would probably do Xbox as well.
I think PC is going to be soon, and hopefully it'll release soon so we can play it and get a review out on it. Next thing on the list, Red Dead 2 just got released on PC. Did you ever play Red Dead 2?
I played it on PS4, and I was not a fan. I was one of the 3 people on the entire planet that did not like Red Dead Redemption 2.
All right, well, I heard it just got released on PC, but I've heard it's pretty glitchy, which isn't a huge surprise. Most of Rockstar's games do tend to have glitches, but especially stuff like ports, that can be sloppy. That can be hit or miss with a lot of companies. So you might want to wait until they get all that stuff figured out to get Red Dead 2 on PC, but that's your call. The Outer Worlds just got released to massive success. The people that made it were the original makers, not the original makers, the creators of Fallout New Vegas. Not the original creators of Fallout, but the people that made only Fallout New Vegas, which was
arguably their best game.
Yeah, one of the greatest Fallout games. And so Obsidian came back and made Outer Worlds, which is very similar. I've heard, if not better than Fallout. Definitely, I've heard better than Fallout 4.
And 3.
3?
I've heard it's better than 4 and 3.
Okay. But yeah, I'm hoping to play that soon. And then Overwatch 2 just got announced with a trailer at BlizzCon, which I think is pretty interesting considering it. I don't see a ton they could add.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting. I mean,
I saw they're adding like kind of a campaign you can do with friends, but I don't know how interested I'd be in that.
I don't know if that's like, I don't know if I'd pay the full price of a game just for a campaign.
Especially when I can just hop back on Overwatch 1 if I want to play that.
I mean, if they wanted to add a $10 or $15 DLC to Overwatch 1, for a campaign, that's cool. Like you can get it if you want to play it, and it's not too expensive, or you can just keep playing Overwatch 1, the multiplayer, which is probably the most fun version.
Yeah, to me it just looks like it might end up being an Overwatch 1.5, really, but it's really too early to tell. They haven't given a lot of information, so we'll just have to wait and see on that one.
Yeah, I don't really know what Blizzard's train of thought was on the whole thing.
They also announced another Diablo game. Did you see that?
I did not see that.
Yeah, Diablo, was it 3 or 5 was the last one to get released?
I think 3.
Okay, well, they announced Diablo 4, which is a lot of people were very happy about. I never played a Diablo game, but I might, depending on interest, I might see what all that hype is about. Moving on to the next big segment of the podcast, we're going to be talking about the recent rise of Minecraft.
Oh boy.
All right.
I love me some Minecraft.
All right, so as I'm sure most of our listeners have known, Minecraft has had a very recent and massive resurgence in popularity.
Yes.
Due to a large number of factors. Matt, do you want to start us off on this one?
Well, factor number 1, it is the top selling game of all time because it is amazing.
And arguably like one of the greatest games of all time. It's going to go down as like probably the greatest game of our generation.
Oh, no doubt. I think it is the greatest game of all time, and I think it will be for a while.
Mm-hmm. So the things that are like making it come back are a lot of the things like the core principles of Minecraft. The fact that they continually come out with updates and they are still updating. So like when I came back about probably like a year ago, more like half a year ago, I came back to a bunch of new content that was completely free, which is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that's making it rise again is a lot of new creators, whether they be streamers on Twitch or YouTubers, coming back and playing Minecraft. People like Call Me Carson and his crew, like Jay Schlatt, and the Hermitcraft people, like what's his name, the Walking House guy, Mumbo Jumbo. And then Philza, he's my favorite. He's the 5-year hardcore world guy. And so they're all playing it again, getting thousands of viewers on Twitch, and YouTube for that matter. Yeah.
That is a lot on Twitch.
And then they're all coming and meeting up with the old, like OG Minecraft YouTubers, like Captain Sparkles, Ant Venom, Sky Does Minecraft. Like, I've seen, like, all 3 of those people are on Call Me Carson's SMP Live. And then they all play together. Like, Philza plays on this. Who's the other person I named up? Oh, Jay Schlatt. Like, they all play together on Minecraft Mondays, which is the kind of big event that Keemstar started. Every Monday for a while, like a few months, Keemstar was hosting a big contest where they'd play like 10 or so different Minecraft mini games, all streaming, and the winner, they play in duos, and the winners would get $10,000.
Oh my god!
And so I think that's one of the main things that like made it blow up again.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you wanna?
Well, I don't really know where to start with Minecraft. It's such a complex and ever-growing game.
I was going to ask you if you wanted to talk about any more factors. I can keep going on factors for...
Factors? Well, PewDiePie's one.
Well, yeah, PewDiePie came back to it, which is a ridiculously big one.
PewDiePie's Let's Plays have... I think that's one of the largest factors. I mean, it has as big of a YouTuber as he is, the fact that he is rekindling his love with Minecraft, just...
Yeah, I think that's definitely up there with like the top contenders. And then what I just remembered is like the thing that got my brother back into it, like before, maybe not before, but like very like close to when I was getting back into it, was new game modes and servers and stuff. He and lots of other people I've seen are playing Hypixel Skyblock. Have you seen that?
Skyblocks and Bed Wars.
Yeah, Skyblocks and Bed Wars.
That's it.
Like,
I mean, they're basically full-on games by themselves.
Yeah.
And it's all free. I mean,
it's pretty ridiculous.
and considering Minecraft still only costs $30, it's
a no-brainer.
It is a no-brainer. I had only played Minecraft on console until 6 months ago when I bought it on PC for $30. I went on Mojang.net or whatever, or .com, I don't even know what it is, and I was prepared to pay $60 for Minecraft, because like any popular game, really, it's gotta be $60. And I opened it up and it was $30. I was like, whoa. I don't know why I waited this long to buy it, because even before it was popular, I would still go back to my console sometimes and just play some Minecraft, because it's one of the most calming and creativity sparking games. I mean,
And then, like, one of the other things, easy access has been one of the greatest reasons people have been coming back as well. Like, stuff like, it just, I don't know how to say it. It's easy. It's really easy to pick up on, and there is just no end to what you can do.
yes.
So, like, there's obviously survival, which is the most basic form of it, where you can still, like, build whatever you want while, like, playing an actual game
Yeah.
and trying to survive. And then there's creative, where you just have sky's the limit to build whatever you can imagine.
You could, yeah, I mean,
And then once you, like, add redstone to the mix, like, its own, like, electrical system.
you can do whatever you want. Like, you can do more than what you think is possible.
Way more.
Way more. People have built full-on computers within Minecraft that can run Minecraft.
And then, as if that wasn't enough, there's hardcore mode, which
Oh.
is what I've just gotten into. And it's like basically survival mode on steroids, where everything in the game is harder. And if you die once, there's no more respawning. Your world gets deleted.
Gone.
And so I have spent a lot of time in my hardcore world. I've been playing it for like 3 months. It's like,
Oh my god.
I'm like 150 in-game days into it. And so I have like spent so much time on it, and like if it were a normal survival world, it like wouldn't seem that special. But like since it's hardcore, and since like I've had to be so careful with everything I've done, it has like so much like a greater sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, I would not be able to last 3 months in hardcore. I mean, me and my friends play on a server where we are absolutely stacked, and I still die like 3 times every time I get on, just because that's who I am. I just do stupid stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how I used to be, like, or not used to be. I still am when I get on the realm I play on with the realm I play on normally. I don't want to mention people on here. I don't but whenever I play on like my realm of friends, I still die all the time, but it's like whenever I get on my hardcore world, it's just like a different set, like switch is on in my brain. Like, I've got to be careful. I've got to like...
That's another reason why Minecraft is so good, because just even this slight difference between normal survival and hardcore makes it 2 completely separate games. Because just what you're willing to do in normal survival versus what you're willing to do in hardcore, just 2 separate worlds.
Yeah, and like in like our realm with like all my friends and stuff, like we are stupid like with the stuff we do, and we like all like just for fun, like we dug an entire like chunk 16 by 16 blocks straight to bedrock just to like trick one of our friends into thinking it was a chunk error and like walking into it.
Oh my gosh.
And spent hours on that, and I would never do that in hardcore.
I mean, we've built like fighting arenas in the sky just to like settle stupid disputes. Like, did someone take one of my books? I was gonna use that to enchant. Like, to the arena, and you climb like
The Thunderdome.
you climb like a like a 100 block staircase up to the arena, and you fight to the death up there. I mean, just
It's just sky's the limit with like whatever you want to do.
yeah. And even if you're not playing with your friends, if you're playing by yourself, like in your hardcore world, it's still fun.
And then something that like nostalgia has been a major factor as well to like bringing people back, but then I think the game itself is what gotten people to stay. Like everyone took a break for a bit. Like I think it got too popular for a bit, and like it just became a meme, and so everyone stopped. But now like it's worn off a bit, and nostalgia brought like a lot of people back, but then I think what everyone's realizing is everyone wants to stay.
Yeah. Another crazy thing about Minecraft is most games, they have a set like age of people that play it. I mean, of course, there's your normal outliers. Like most like first-person shooter games, it's mainly 15 to 25. I mean, that's your age range. You'll get the occasional guy that's way too old to be playing it, or a guy that's way too young to be playing it. But Minecraft, I mean, everybody is welcome. I play Minecraft with my five-year-old cousin and my 9-year-old cousin, and then I can play Minecraft with my dad if I wanted to. I mean, it's just
Our Discord server for Minecraft is called Minecraft No Shame. Like, it is such a good game, regardless of like the memes that and the reputation it got for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I think the last thing we're gonna talk about Minecraft is the soundtrack. And like I know it's something that either you've heard about it and you've listened to it and you've like realized how like fantastic it is, or you like haven't.
Yeah,
Or you haven't noticed it.
Yeah.
But I think that's like the best part about it. You can be playing Minecraft and have like the music going, and you will have like no idea it's playing. It brings you into the game.
Yeah, it sounds like a natural part of the game. Like sometimes I'll be playing Minecraft and like the music won't be playing for too long, and I'm like, why am I here? This just feels wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it like brings you into the game, and like it's like a necessity almost while you're playing.
And the fact that it's not always playing is also a large part of why I love it, because it'll just randomly come in and you just feel like inspired by it. Like I'm doing this.
It's inspirational.
I'm doing this build. I'm getting bored. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll just finish it tomorrow. And that music comes in, and I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna finish this right now.
It hooks you in, and especially then like all the nostalgia it brings back for like the old players that are coming back. Like it's just brings back so many memories and like makes like at least me so happy.
It's pretty much the same soundtrack that it's been from the beginning too. I mean, there's like little tweaks. I think there's some new songs, but the songs are so...
It's the same tone and the same like style.
All the songs in the game sound alike, but they don't sound like any other song that you'll find anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. All right, I think that pretty much wraps up everything we're gonna be talking about. If you have any recommendations on what we should talk about, just leave them in the comments. Any comments, leave them in the comments. Like, subscribe.
Smash that bell button.
Yeah, smash that bell button. We'll see you next time on Little Bits.